Hey everybody, welcome back to Vape Escape. I'm Bobby. This is Mike. He's new to our channel, so he's going to be doing a little introduction, then we'll hop into it.
Alright, so I'm still relatively new to the whole vaping scene, so I guess you can take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I started, smoking and dipping just like any other teenager does, and decided it was time to quit. And instead of quitting cold turkey, I went with some vaping. So I'm just here to talk about the iTaste VTR today, and basically give you the lowdown of what I think about it and how it compares next to the MVP version 2, which is what I had before this. So I'm sure you've seen videos on it before, but you get it in a case like that, which is a pretty nice gesture. I'd be lying to you if I said that I used it since I got it.
It looks cool though.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
matters.
It looks cool, and I mean, I guess if you're ever traveling, I guess that's cool. And it just comes in looking like that. You got your mod, and the iClear 30S is the tank that it comes with. And first thing you're going to notice about the VTR is it is very, very heavy. I'm sure you've heard it said before, but you get used to it. I mean, it's not like it's a terrible weight or anything. Like at first, especially if you're going from like an Ego or something like that, go to something like this. I think it's almost a pound when it has everything on there. So.
It's heavy. I mean,
Yeah.
if you were stuck in an alleyway, this is a pretty good weapon to have if someone's coming up on you.
Very true, very true. But it comes with this right here, and this is just an adapter. Because if one thing you'll notice about this,
the tank without the adapter doesn't support iGo,
Right.
the iGo threads.
See, there's this little ring almost looking thing. So if your tank doesn't fit in there, you need to use this adapter right there. And when that thing's on there, man, I'll just give y'all an idea of how it looks.
Nowhere's near as sleek.
Yeah, it completely takes away from the form factor of it, because when it has a tank that fits in there, man, the thing looks cool and it's pocketable and it's real cool. But man, once you have to add an adapter onto that, it
Just to give you an idea of how
takes
big
it
that
away.
is, this is the size of a Z-Max Mini.
And it's wider and
Yeah.
probably about 3 times as heavy.
This had the same tank that has, so just so you know how big it is.
So one thing, the big difference between this and the MVP version 2, besides the weight and the finish on it, is that this one's not a pass-through, meaning that you're going to need batteries. What is it,
13650.
There you go. See, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but you need a 13650 battery on there, and that got like a lot of hate from it because everybody loved the pass-through of the MVP2 because you could charge your phone off of it and you could still vape on it while it's charging. But in my honest opinion, I prefer the battery system with it.
So do I, because when a battery dies, you're having to sit there and let it charge while you're hitting it. I mean, that was not one thing that was nice about the MVP, is you could sit there while it was charging and hit it, but you're still you're stuck there. So if your buddies call you up and your thing is dead, you're either having to wait till it's done charging or you don't have a vape.
Exactly.
Nice thing with these, you buy a second battery, throw your other battery in there that's already charged, you're good to go.
And that's what I always liked about it. And the battery life, in my honest to God opinion, with the batteries, it's a little bit worse, but I mean, it's nothing to kick yourself in the ass about. And like he said, you can have one charging while you're vaping on the other one, rotate them. And I like that personally. And the pass-through on the MVP2, being able to charge your electronic devices, it was cool. But honestly, I used that one time, and that's when I was really drunk at my buddy's house,
Yeah,
and I didn't have an iPhone charger. So I didn't really use it too much. So the main reason I decided to upgrade to the VTR was I've used a lot of Anakin's products. His girlfriend had the iTaste VV. I used that for a while. I really dug that. That was a real.
It was
real
nice.
good
It was
mod.
nice and small.
Yeah.
It charged just off an Android phone plug. I mean, it was really nice, but it doesn't even compare to something like this. This thing is a tank. I mean, it really is awesome.
So I really dug that. So then I got the MVP version 2. I was pretty content with it for a while, but one thing about me is when I get into something new, I'm constantly wanting to upgrade. I want to pour my money. I want to get the biggest, best thing. I mean, with anything I'm like that. When I started playing music, I needed the Fender bass. I didn't want the Squire. It's always the way I've been. So but I was pretty happy with the upgrade to the VTR. Like I said, it's heavier. The finish is a fingerprint magnet, but that doesn't really bother me. I mean, I don't really care. Maybe some of y'all do. I don't mind it. This one goes up to 6 volts. So it operates from 3 to 6 volts or 3 to 15 watts. And now the difference between that and the MVP version 2 is version 2 operated from 3 to 5 volts and operated from 3 to 11 watts. So you are getting an upgrade in that sense. But honestly, unless you're vaping on very high wattage,
you're never going to be vaping that high.
Exactly.
There's not many tanks that can handle that without getting burnt out in 2 or 3 hits.
And you crank this thing up to 15, it's like smoking on rubber.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not for me.
It's cool to say you can do it, but it's
Exactly.
not really necessary whatsoever.
One thing I'll say is the build quality is really nice. This mod I picked up for about $110, and you really do get what you pay for. The fire button is on the side right here, and it has that infamous green button whenever it's firing, and 3 clicks and you turn it off, and it's like almost like a power indicator. When it's on high charge, it's green. Mid charge, it's about yellow, and when it's fixing to die, it's on red. So that's kind of cool that you get that, and the display is pretty nice. It's simple. I mean, there's really not too much to talk about. It's not like an Ovale or anything like. I said that right?
Yeah.
But the scroll wheel is how you change the settings. You push the top button and it's going to read volts, and then you my bad. You push the top button, it's going to read watts, and then you press it again, then you're at volts, and then you just use the scroll wheel to adjust through them. Some reviews I've seen, they said that the scroll wheel wasn't very responsive. I haven't had that issue, but then
even when I was messing with it,
Yeah.
it seems really, really responsive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's an issue with it at all.
yeah, for me that's really not an issue. But the main thing that I really want to kind of talk about is if it's worth the upgrade. That was my first impressions of the VTR, but when I was trying to decide if I wanted to upgrade, I couldn't find a lot of information on it. So basically what I'm trying to do is tell you my experience with it and then let you know if you really want to upgrade, because you're almost paying double the price. The tank that it comes with is the iClear 30S, and it's the upgrade from the iClear 30, and I dug the tank, but for the first 2 or 3 days out of the box, man, it wasn't holding flavor. So I drop a flavor in there, and I just didn't get flavor from it. And
It takes a long time to wick.
And the vape production was weak. Maybe that's just my experience with it. Maybe I got a bad one, but once it settled in, it was a pretty good vape. But right now I'm running with the Pro Tank Aero, the upgrade, and I'm digging that.
I actually just got it today.
Just got it today. I'm really digging that. So
it gets really great vapor production. I mean, you're going to see here flavor out of this world. I mean, I would say the iClear 30S gets similar vapor, but there's something about this where you're just getting a different type of flavor. I wouldn't necessarily say it's better. It's just it makes a flavor taste different. I mean, it's an awesome tank. It's definitely an upgrade. There's no questions about that. You can adjust the air holes on this Pro Tank. I mean, this thing is really nice. Personally, I've got the iClear 30S on my mod, and I just got a drip tip on it. But, I mean, it's a great tank. Definitely worth the upgrade to the Pro Tank. You're going to see a lot. You're going to be a lot happier with this mod if you do get a better tank than the iClear 30S.
Oh, definitely.
One thing we realized when he was shopping around for tanks is you can't just get any tank and throw it in there. The ones we've came across that did work, Pro Tank 3, basically the same thing he has
And
right
without
now.
having to use that big adapter.
Without having to use the adapter.
With the adapter, you can use anything.
Anything
so
you want.
don't act like you're limited to it, but it just
But if
takes
you want
away
to
from the
keep that
form
nice
factor.
slimlined look, you're going to need to get something that's going to fit in there. Another thing was the BBC, or the Lotus BBC Mega, which is a great little tank. But one thing that is nice is you can still use disposable cardos if you use the adapter.
So all in all, I'm pretty happy with the device. One thing I forgot to talk about is there's this little wheel right there with these grooves, and in order to take that off, you have to hold that and then undo it like that. And if you're not holding that little spin wheel down, it's not going to go anywhere. Like I said, I mean, that kind of got some hate. I preferred it. It kind of made it idiot-proof. So like when I started unscrewing it, I really needed to pay attention. Because like I said, I mean, I'm still new to it. So I'm still that guy that doesn't know if it's a top or bottom coil, and then I end up spilling liquid everywhere. So I'm still new to it, but I really dig the mod. I would definitely recommend it to somebody.
So bottom line, is it worth upgrading from the MVP to this, though? Spending the $100 to get this? If you already don't have anything, would you recommend purchasing that first off? for the $110 opposed to something like, my telescopic Z Max or anything like that, would you recommend it?
Well, in my experience, I got some buddies that vape, so I really have got to experience different mods. I really like his mod. I started with an Eco Twist, and I moved up to the MVP, and I really like the MVP. But like he just said, I mean, this is $110. You know, you can
It's a
pick the
lot of
MVP
money to
up
spend.
for like $44.
Yeah.
Is it worth the upgrade? If you have the money, absolutely, but it's not a dire thing that you need to do. It has similar vaping production, but like I was talking to a
It
guy,
has a much better feel. The button
Right,
is nicer.
right.
I mean, it is a nicer mod. You get what you pay for, obviously.
I mean, if you're vaping at, let's just say 5 volts on this compared to vaping on a 5 volts on a shitty constructed mod, you're obviously going to get better vape from the better constructed one. So is it worth the upgrade? Yes, if you have the money. Is it a dire thing you need to do? Absolutely not. I mean, if you have the MVP, you'll be happy with the.
Basically, if you have some money you want to spend and you're looking to get the newest and best thing, it's worth doing. But if you're not really looking to spend a whole lot of money and you already have the MVP, there's really not much of a need to do it if you don't have the money to spend.
And if you were new to vaping, I would not recommend going out and spending $110. You need to go out and you need to experience different kind of mods and really figure out what appeals to you. You might not like the box mod. You might like, the more of the pin style.
Personally, I like these because I like the feel of them. That's just me, though.
So, to each their own. I really like it. It took a while for me to really appreciate it. I had a little bit of buyer's remorse at first, but after about a week with it, I'm pretty happy with it. And would I recommend it? Absolutely. It is better than the MVP, but it's not a dire upgrade. So.
Right. Well, that's our video for today, guys. If you liked it, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Any questions, leave it in the comment, and we'll make sure to get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks.
Take it easy.